Let's get a gold screw. Some nerdy glasses. And screw on one C2F analog at a time. Now, this is going to have the same behavior as in the mouth, which means that if the abutments, or if the trajectory of the temp copings are not all parallel, then you have a problem with passivity on the model, and you do the same thing that you did in the mouth, and that is just go through from the other side. In this case, it'll be on the intaglio side. I'll show you what I mean. Because most cases are not totally passive, that you can just put a bunch of C2F analogs on and have it just drop in the model. All right, so far so good. Actually, these may all go on here and drop in. That'll be nice. A couple of the early cases, the implants, the MUAs, the trajectories of them were so far off that the bottom of the C2F analogs were convergent, and so we had to cut down. Oops. So we had to cut down the bottom of the cylinders just so that they wouldn't be touching each other. And we designed these analogs with a flat side. Here, I'll show you that in just a second here. Oh, look. Oh, get back to you later. You can kind of see it. There's a flat side on here. So if they're convergent a little bit, then you can line up a flat side with a flat side, and then they'll be passive. But we've had a couple cases where these are literally touching and encroaching on each other underneath. In that case, you have to take a burr and you have to adjust them, or you can cut them off a little bit shorter so that they're not convergent. Obviously, you can't have them touching, because then they won't be passive. Hey, Scott, can you make bigger screws? Oh, something Scott can't do. We're going over here on my left, on your right is the denture man. James Anzalone, the denture man. We do a lot of cases together in town, and he's a Straumann man. He has a lot of Straumann surgery conversions, like all over the place, speaks for him and so forth. And he and I are doing a Straumann case on Wednesday, which is very exciting, because these analogs will fit. You have to use Straumann screws. They'll fit. But these will fit with Straumann temp copings. They're what do you call it? They're compatible with. Okay, so I figured this would happen. So this is in the anterior where he had problems in the mouth. All right, so there's no draw. It doesn't. Oh, look at that. What was wrong in the mouth there, Dr. Towell? All right. So then you'll inspect it from the bottom, make sure that everything is passive, not touching the wall. So that is totally acceptable. And then you'll look, okay, let me make sure you can see what I'm seeing there. Passive. And then underneath here, you have the two pegs, but we also put some supports so that you can tripod it. So there's a little support there, a rectangle. There's one down here, and there's one over here that we kind of missed. The distal, oh, actually, it's contacting it. Oh, that's good. I don't think it is on the prosthetic for some reason. So this is balanced on here, so we can hold it down while we're doing the drilling. The next step is to connect the copings to the model. And we will use Stellar. This has become our favorite material. It's not the cheapest. It's actually kind of expensive for this type of work, but it's in a syringe. It's very easy to use. They have 0 shrinkage on their literature. I don't know that anything is 0 shrinkage, but I can tell you we've had really, really good success in the mouth and on the models with this, and I would say it's worth the spend. It'll be less than a tube when you backfill these.
Well, when it's 25G case, what are you worried about?
Right, yes. Okay, here's a trick. This was problem number 4, I think, when we were doing this elsewhere. You don't load this in from the top, because gravity will take the material and it'll flow it down to the prosthetic, and you'll connect the prosthetic to the model, and then you're in big trouble. So instead, we're going to inject it holding it this way, and then gravity will just fill in the bottom of these wells, or we'll go around the top of them, and we'll hold it firm, make sure it doesn't come away from the model, and we'll do it vertically, and gravity will keep it all in the bottom, and it won't flow to the prosthetic. I think it added another, I don't know, 30 minutes trying to remove the prosthetic from the model and grinding it, and it was just a bad lesson, a good bad lesson to learn. I didn't mention it, there's also a light over here, a curing light. This Stella material is dual cure. The self-cure is 120 seconds. The tack, until you have it, pretty hard, is only 5 seconds, and a full cure with a light is only 20 seconds. So you have the ability to work with it, but then also tack things in sometimes as you're doing it. Like sometimes these cases are kind of hard to hold onto as you're working around the arch, and so maybe you just tack 1 or 2 in, and then you come back and address the rest of them. I'm gonna just syringe all of them, and then I'm gonna hit it with a light while I'm making sure I'm holding it in the right place.
If there are steps that come to you that might be tricky for us, please elucidate.
Well,
If you remember 24 mistakes.
yeah, thank you. And I kind of went over the warnings, but if you get material that has gone into that prosthetic, it will bond to it instantly. You won't be able to get off the model. You'll end up using a lab knife or something to separate it. See, there's no material came through. All right, and it's all, we were using some rubber dam. Let me make sure this is down. There's down, and I won't do the light. Oh, sorry. That was the first thing. We were going to use some rubber dam, and we would put the little gaskets in there. We'd cut a glove up and everything, but all it does is really obscure it. This little gravity technique works better, because if you put a glove down and then you turn it down and just drop the material in from the top, then you end up with material everywhere. You end up with your rubber dam material all over your model that you got to cut away. And really, you only need to tack these analogs to the model. We're gonna do a good tacking to it, but right initially, to do this, you just need a tack. That's all. Okay. I'm going to.
Base, correct.
What happened? What's that?
Mostly at the base, so that the analogs will stay in.
Yeah, right at the base. And then I kind of built a foundation, right? And then probably need a new tip. Okay, I'm doing a little overboard, I don't really need to do this, but I say that, but remember this is the model we're gonna use for the final appliance 6 months down the road. So the last thing you want is for one of these copings to come loose. So you might as well make it perfect now. This is the master model, which is a nice thing, because it's a little bit added expense, you know, to do the C2F. Overall, it's really not that much additional cost, but what you don't have is an expensive soft tissue master cast down the road that might be $200 per arch. So you do it all initially. Okay, model made. Now, if you notice, no material flowed through. Did it?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right, that's not gonna hold it down. Is that in focus?
Yeah.
Other tips, other things that happen. We had, on that case, the model wasn't down when we were gluing it, which really isn't the end of the world because you're really setting a prosthetic in a model. You're not really setting a bite or anything, you know? But it is nice to have it firmly seated on the model. Okay, let's have a look at this. I'm going to, just because it's prudent, I'm gonna add a little bit more material around each one of these. That's an analog model. All right, so be careful here. You don't wanna get any on top of those MUAs because then you have to grind on metal to remove it. Right, James? This is easy stuff, right? Not till you, right until you screw it all up. And we used Voco for a long time, and we were, I don't know how many thousands of tubes of Voco. And we finally got convinced from this Taub company because a couple of our KOLs used it and they never, ever, ever, literally never had a problem with debonding on prosthetics and the dual cure and so forth. But the Voco, which is a really strong material, it requires a primer, a binding agent, and it's self-cure. So you're always waiting. And those two things just really are not that helpful in this type of, okay. Let me hit this with a light.